Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got
New 52 booklet.
it! Somebody clip this one.
Welcome to Justice League Rewatch. I'm Jared, and I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. Watch it.
Okay, for those who don't know, I kind of dropped a one-liner like right before we hit record. That like if there's a, like that's why Jared has a bit of a sour expression right now.
You give up position one more time, I'll bleed you real quiet.
No, we're talking about the little Piggy, otherwise known as. I'm going to tell you right now, this episode is a 10 out of 10 for two reasons. Number one, Jennifer Hale, who is.
Wait,
she replaces Julie Brown as the voice of Zatanna.
Just her mere presence alone makes this a 10 out of 10 for you.
Yes. But the second part, okay, so the episode opens up. Batman and Wonder Woman are on a stakeout. They're going after Intergang. And Wonder Woman brings up about how Batman's all alone. He's not with anyone. And then she basically hints, hey, how about me? Because Bruce Timm is involved with this universe. Go on.
Okay, let's settle this debate once and for all. Okay. I believe that people give Bruce Timm a bad rep because if you look at this episode, all right, it says two things. Yes, Bruce and Diana care about each other. That is very clear. I think even you can admit that. But this is like the big but. Batman very clearly states it would never work out. She's an immortal princess. And he's a rich boy with daddy issues. Lots of issues. So,
and fun fact, Bruce did not write this episode. So Paul Dini is. And it's almost like Paul Dini was like, no, Bruce, stop.
Paul Dini throws the middle finger to Bruce Timm.
Paul Dini is pretty much the saving grace of this. All the episodes where people act logically and Batman is not trying to have sex with everyone is written by Paul Dini.
I gotta say, like, I don't like all the Bruce Timm hate. We act like he's the director who must not be named, but he's not.
He wasn't the Killing Joke. So anyway, Wonder Woman gets turned into a pig by Circe, and which is really funny because Circe. By the way, that's a Wonder Woman rogue and a half because that's one of the few that everyone knows is a Wonder Woman rogue. So
really, honestly, Wonder Woman only has two well-known rogues: Circe and Cheetah.
Maybe Giganta, but yeah. But so I love where Batman discovers it's magic. So where does he go? To Zatanna. And Zatanna is actually a magician on the Justice League, and her father taught Batman all of his escape artist stuff.
Okay, you're not doing it justice.
Okay, go ahead. By the way, real quick, I enjoyed that pun. I'm not doing it justice.
Oh, there's more justice puns, more justice references in this episode, but we'll get to that. We will get to.
You mean the Crimson Avenger showing up?
No, I was talking about literally Lady Justice showing up.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, we'll get to that. But so here's the thing about like Zatanna and her father Zatara. Okay, Zatara was a backup feature in Action Comics.
Yeah, he was.
Like he was one of the original heroes in Action Comics. In fact, if you look at some of the early Action Comics covers, Zatara is actually on some of them before they just put Superman on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And So Zatanna is just as old as Superman, literally. And yes, as Jared said, Zatanna is the one who taught Superman his escape artist, which I think is just a great incorporation of the lore.
Oh yes, it makes sense because there are certain things that you have to really think about how to fit into Batman's lore, particularly when it involves
Zatanna
magic.
is basically DC's Houdini.
Yeah, and basically Bruce and Zatanna, the daughter, grew up together.
Oh well,
in some iterations of the DC universe, that they did. I think in this one they did.
You're adding a Bruce Tim element to it, brother. Like,
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I mean, did you see the way they flirt with each other? It's like
Batman flirts with literally everyone.
No, Zatanna was flirting with them.
Well, yeah, because he's Batman.
No, Zatanna was like she was the one who initiated a lot of the flirting, by the way. Well.
Yeah, I know. And then so Zatanna goes, okay, I need this spell to locate Circe. So she goes and finds Sid, who apparently has all these like magical items. I love how like he rips her off the deal. So as she's leaving, because Wonder Pig escapes, she essentially casts a spell that essentially refunds her transaction.
Also, there's one line by Sid that I really like where he says, "I'm the only one in the dimension who has this stuff."
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
I thought that was a nice little line that like opens up a whole bucket of lore.
And then so they call in the aid of Bawana Beast, who is a Tarzan-looking dude. His powers is that he can talk to animals, and I believe he can like see through animals or something like that.
You know, this guy does little very in this. I'm sorry, I was trying to make a bad reference.
and you can't do that. So, and then they also call in the aid of the Crimson Avengers. Speaking of classic superheroes.
And Red Tornado.
And Red Tornado, that is correct. And then they decide, okay, so let's go find Circe's cellmate. I love how they make Tartarus like an actual prison, or like Medusa's leaving. I'll go back to it. Medusa's leaving, and then she goes, tell Circe's she can keep my hair dryer.
And I love the person they enlist is literally Lady Justice.
Literally Lady Justice.
And I kind of like it kind of takes you a second where it's like, oh, you've done so much good stuff in my name. And then like once I saw the scales, I was like, oh, she's Lady Justice. And I'm like, oh, they're literally the Justice League. They fight in her name. Okay, like that makes sense.
It's so in depth. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. You also see Chiron, you also see Elongated Man as well, otherwise known as the version of DC that they try and have for Mr. Fantastic.
I just hope that like the guy lasts a full season, doesn't get kicked off the show for allegations.
Yeah. Well, yeah. By the way, the one part that I will say of that WonderBat scene in the beginning that was funny is when Batman goes, if my villains ever found out that I had someone close to me, they would try to come to me through her. And then she crushes a gargoyle and goes, next. It's like, she's like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah. It's like it like this. See, this is why Superman belongs to Wonder Woman, because if the villains try to go after Lois, he's screwed. But if they try to go after Wonder Woman, it's literally safer for Superman to date Wonder Woman.
Which is why Bendis wasted a golden opportunity when he revealed Superman's secret identity to the world. No one was hurt.
At least when they did it in Civil War, when Spider-Man revealed it, he actually had consequences.
Yeah, she had consequences. There were no consequences, Nick. Zero. And then the way they undid it is Lex Luthor steals the powers of Manchester Black, and he makes it so if Superman tells anyone his secret identity, they get a heart attack.
They literally one more date Superman.
They literally one more date him. Except this is the one time where a whole marriage annulment would have actually been to my benefit.
So Superman be like, hey, Lex Luthor, did you know that I'm Clark Kent?
No, I don't think it works on Lex. But the point is,
well,
going
yeah,
back
he
to
made
this.
he made the wish. I'm sure he'd have like, oh, didn't you know, Superman? The component of the wish is everyone on Earth but me.
Yes. So they track down Circe, and she's at this little club performing singing, and they find her. At the same time, Wonder Woman has somehow wandered into a slaughterhouse.
Oh, you mean like anytime Wonder Woman gets into a fight?
That's true. There you go. Particularly like Injustice Wonder Woman. But anyway, so
I
love how
like
they
that
time
scene
this.
from the scene from the first Wonder Woman movie where the music kicks in.
Or the Snyder cut when she's fighting terrorists in London. She just burst through the wall. But anyway, there was a moment that evoked that for me. So at the same time as Batman and Zatanna are trying to get after Circe, she's like being put on like the cart to all the gears that are going to grind her up into a Wonder Burger. Yes, I did invent that term. Look at Nick right now.
Oh. And you say my puns are bad. Oh my freaking god. You say my jokes are bad. You no longer have a right to criticize my jokes, brother.
Yes, I do. It's my show. Yes, I do. It's my show. So, so Batman. So they go. Okay, so what? Can we make a deal for you to release Wonder Woman? She goes, okay. You have to give me your deepest, darkest secrets, something you've gone to great lengths to protect. Which, by the way they do it, it would have been interesting if he actually told her, "I'm Bruce Wayne," and he has that hanging over his head now that Circe knows who he is. See, that would have been more of a romantic gesture if he had given up literally the one thing that this is the most precious to him is a secret identity.
Yeah, but this was a bit of a comedy episode, and plus,
which I get
honestly, we got treated to Kevin Conroy. Really
Kevin Conroy's, yeah, so I'm fine with that.
Am I blue?
And then I love Wonder Pig goes into the grinder, the meat grinder, if you will. She turns back into Wonder Woman, just bursts through the wall.
No. In matriarchal Themyscira, the meat grinder doesn't grind you. You grind the meat grinder. Like
that was a really elaborate joke, but okay.
It's a playoff of like in the Soviet Russia.
And then I love where Circe is like, well, he doesn't have to get. I'm satisfied. He can stop. As Zatanna's like, are you nuts? Listen to him sing. And then I love where afterwards, Wonder Woman and Batman are on the Watchtower, and they're walking, and Wonder Woman's like, yeah, it's all just one big blur, and all of a sudden she starts humming. The Batman's
see, this is the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure Zatanna told her what happened because she was on the other side of town. Like, she was like way.
I'm pretty sure Zatanna told her. Yeah, exactly. And I love where Batman explains it. He goes, "Yeah, I was on a stakeout of a singer. I must have heard that song like 100 times."
Also, like, I love the final shot of Batman where he's like,
all right, there you go. But yeah, so that was fun. So Nick, they've heard me talk a lot about this episode. What did you think? And be careful what you say here.
Let's just say they weren't porking around.
So we have had 2 really crappy puns in this episode. That's a record.
Circe really made Batman give up the bacon. She made him squeal.
Oh my gosh.
Am I being quite the pig with these puns?
Okay. How do you really think about this episode?
I'm really glad they chose not to go there.
Yes, because they could have easily done it, and I'm like, if they had done that, this episode would have gotten a 0, even if it includes a Jennifer Hale.
Also, I don't think you realize I made another pig pun.
Yeah, I know. Just so I've said this.
Do you need some ointment for that burn?
By the way, Am I Blue was also featured in Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, and it's heard playing on the radio of Barbara Gordon's roommate.
What other trivia you got for this episode, brother?
Yeah, exactly. I got that. So Batman gives 2 pennies to Chiron as a service charge. I just love how real Greek myths is in this. A reference to the fact that in Greek myths, we traditionally bury their dead with the coins on the eyes. That's why in Zack Snyder's Justice League and Cyborg's Nightmare, when they're reviving Superman, you see Wonder Woman on the funeral pyre. She has the 2 coins.
Yeah, makes sense.
The punishment described by Medusa bears some resemblance to the torment endured by Prometheus, which consisted of him being chained to a rock and having his liver eaten by a bird of prey, only to have it regenerate the next day. So he's being eaten and then regenerated. Circe refers to Hippolyta as Mommy Dearest, which is a reference to Christina Crawford's expose about her unhappy childhood as the adopted daughter of actress Joan Crawford.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a reference to Joan Crawford when Circe calls Hippolyta Mommy Dearest.
I don't get it at all.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to kind of break it down and explain it to me.
Okay, Circe refers to Hippolyta as Mommy Dearest, which is a reference to Christina Crawford's expose about her unhappy childhood of being the adopted daughter of Joan Crawford.
I mean, okay, but Mommy Dearest is a common term of endearment, so I don't really see how that's a reference, but okay.
The Crimson Avengers one-liner is his only speaking appearance in the entire series.
Wow.
So, Nick, do you want to tell the audience how much of a deep pull the Crimson Avenger is?
I think you're better equipped for that.
Very much a deep pull. Kevin Conroy previously exhibited his fine singing voice for an episode of Batman Beyond, so the producers were confident in giving him Am I Blue? Circe...
I wish... Now imagine if Kevin Conroy singed about how I am blue, da-da-dee-da-da-da.
Yeah. Circe sings the big band standard Lulu's Back in Town during her performance at the amphitheater.
Nice.
The audience member that Zatanna chooses as the rabbit for her final trick is similar in appearance to the cafe customer taken away by police in the second part of the Justice League episode of Better World. It was the one that was like disputing the check, and then the Bat Police showed up and pulled him away. And then, yes, Jennifer Hale, God's gift to voice acting, voices Zatanna.
All right.
And wait, Zatanna calls the rabbit in her hat Bugs, which is an obvious reference to Bugs Bunny.
Yep, I caught that.
Circe's flattened feet in her red heels wiggle out from under the piano in an obvious tribute to the Wicked Witch of the East.
Caught that one too.
Yeah, Am I Blue? Okay, I already said that. And then one man with the white hair in the amphitheater watching Batman's performance resembles Grandpa Max Tennyson from the Ben 10 universe. There was a person in the show when he's doing the Am I Blue? They pan over the audience. One of them looks like Ben Tennyson's uncle.
Were the shows being made at the same time?
Either that or they reused reused models, because Dwayne McDuffie was working on both shows.
Okay. All right.
That's interesting. So that's those are our little piece of trivia for this week's episode. By the way, other characters to show up are okay. Actually, I brought up through all these, but we have Bruce Timm voices Gladys' husband.
Of course, Bruce Timm found a way into this episode.
Yeah. Lorraine Newman plays Medusa and Themis. Rachel York plays Circe. Peter Ornati plays Buona Beast, which I'm like, what the hell is your name? Jennifer Hale, God's gift to voice acting, plays Zatanna. That's what I'm going to call her from now on. Chad Adenbinder plays the attendant/factory worker. Jack Carter plays Sid. And some people named Kevin Conroy and Susan Eisenberg play Batman and Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
Fun fact, Kevin Conroy also voices the Crimson Avenger.
Wow.
And the Crimson Avenger was one of the inspirations for Batman. So anyway, Nick, how do you rate this episode out of 10?
I give it like a 9.5. honestly.
Yeah, I give it a 10 because of Hale. By the way, this is the second of 3 episodes in which a villain transforms Wonder Woman into another form. Morgana Le Fay turned her into a kid, then Gorilla Grodd turned her into a gorilla. So she was Wonder Kid, Wonder Ape, and then Wonder Pig.
They're not monkeying around, are they?
Yes, they're not monkeying around. Oh, Batman's comments. Dating within the team always leads to disasters, like a reference to the Green Lantern Hawk Girl romance, which ended in mutual heartbreak in the Star-Crossed.
I mean, that's a pretty good reason not to date within the team.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then what I would have written is that a scene where he goes, dating with the team always leads to disaster, ... unless you're Superman. A fantastic episode. It's fantastic because Batman rejects Wonder Woman. Think about it this way. Batman rejects the most beautiful woman on Earth.
By the way, you need to title this episode The Death of WonderBat.
Yes. Or Batman rejects WonderBat.
But
Either of those.
The Death of WonderBat, I think, would be more attention grabbing.
Yes, exactly. You know what? Nick, you are a freaking genius. I will go with that. So, in terms of I'm going to do what's coming on Comics League first, and then I'll let you do your stuff because you have some pretty big stuff to announce. So, for Comics League, Indie Wednesday, tomorrow I'm having Drew from Comics Elite back on to talk about his new project. It's super exciting. On Friday, I'm having Ty the Art Guy on to review his book that I read. It's really good. I really enjoy it. Ty's a fantastic dude. In terms of Under Two Capes, we will be discussing our favorite comic book battles, regardless of the story quality. It could be the most crappy story ever. If it has a fantastic action scene, you can talk about it. So that's that. And then
Nice.
in addition, we're going to be talking about on movie night, Casper the Friendly Ghost. I love where we went from Predator to Casper.
Okay, by the way, one of the clips will be, "Can I keep you?"
Yes, exactly.
By the way, that will if that does not go into regular rotation, I will be mad.
Live footage of Superman when he first meets Wonder Woman. Can I keep you? I can definitely use that.
Yeah, trust me, you get a lot of mileage out of that clip.
Yes, exactly. And in terms of, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, yeah. In terms of Comics League Dark, it's going to be all Screecher all day, all night. We're going to devote about Screecher, learn about Screecher and such. And if you're a member, you're going to get privy to my first members exclusive video. So every month, I'm going to go to the comic book store, grab some books that I'm going to read throughout the month. And I'm going to upload a video at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month. At the beginning of the month, I'm going to upload showing you my picks. So that'll be coming out this week. At the end of the month, I'm going to review them and tell you if I like them or not. So
I swear CLD is going to be a screeching good time.
Oh, it's screeching time, baby. It's screeching time. So, and let's see. What else did I have going on here? Oh, yeah. Obviously, Avatar Rewatch. The next episode of Justice League Rewatch. And oh yeah, be sure to check out the latest episode of Super Wonder Legacy, where Britt and I examine the Trinity and why it maybe doesn't work as a concept. And then next week, we are going to talk about what we would do if we ran DC. A cute evil laugh. Let me put it this way. Say goodbye to Lois Lane.
Oh, no.
So, Nick, where can everyone find you? And what have you got coming out on the chat?
Alrighty, then. So, here's what I have coming for you guys. So,
that sounded
this
so aggressive.
This Friday, join Nick Gibson and Jared from Comics League as they launch the most anticipated indie comic of the year, Screecher #2, Friendly Fire. The newest comic by the Phoenix Press. Owl meets Tiger in this thrilling follow-up to last year's hit comic. Stream goes live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the comic itself being launched live on air half an hour later at 6:30. It will be broadcast both live on Phoenix Press and this very channel. Be there or be squared.
I was about to say it would be square, so there you go.
I busted out the announcer voice for that one.
Yes, I love that. You have to start the stream like that. I swear you have to.
We shall talk.
So, on that note, everyone, stay heroic. And remember, Batman